Hi, welcome to this first of 3 videos where I'm going to share with you a wealth of my knowledge and experience in fertility health so we can get you on the road to having that baby you've been trying for and that you've been hoping and praying for. Now, my name is Lucy Townsley and I believe in the whole holistic approach to getting pregnant. Not just Western medicine as you know it, but Chinese medicine as well. This is what I specialize in. It's about looking at every aspect of your life, the whole body, mind and soul, all principles working together to make the perfect conditions for the egg and sperm to meet and form that all precious embryo. Don't get me wrong, the medical side of it is incredibly important. It's so important, but you can do so much for yourself, for both of you at home, which is equally important. And I'm going to be here to guide you through and to help make both of you fertile in just 3 months. And this will dramatically increase your odds of having that precious baby boy or girl. You may not know this about me, but I was actually a successful show jumper when it was in my teenage years. I represented my country, which is the UK, in European show jumping finals, and it was an incredibly proud moment. I then turned to race riding, and unfortunately in a fall I broke my back in the north of Ireland, and there was a doctor there in A&E who was doing Chinese medicine, and he offered to treat me with acupuncture. And I became really interested in the whole Chinese medicine acupuncture approach, and while I was lying there in the hospital wondering, was I going to be able to walk again, never mind get back on a horse, I decided that I would train in Chinese medicine and help people with injuries. But I really believe that acupuncture helped me recover. And as well, it got me back horse riding and enjoying my own little baby, Amber, who is now 5. And I had Amber when I was 41. So there is, really, I'm telling you this because there is hope at the end of the tunnel. I began studying traditional Chinese medicine herbs at the College of Traditional Chinese Medicine. And I also studied Tuina, and this is a Chinese bodywork therapy that was developed as well as acupuncture. This was developed over 3,000 years ago. It's an integral part of the health system in hospitals throughout China today. And there's hospitals that specialize in acupuncture, Tuina, herbal medicine, and they have different floors that specialize in these hospitals. I've travelled to Beijing to continue my postgraduate training in Chinese medicine and specialising in fertility. And this is where I discovered as well that Chinese medicine and Western medicine can help together. They can really help sort your fertility problems. I learned all about Chinese medicine, diet, nutrition, exercise, Tuina, relaxation techniques, tailored at increasing fertility energy within your body. I also trained with the Zeta West clinic. Zeta West runs a very busy clinic in England, specialising in the natural holistic approach. I did training with her. I went through her treatments and protocols. I opened my own busy clinic in 2000. One of the main things that I've noticed, over the years that I've treated people were couples coming into me and having difficulties in getting pregnant. When you come and see me, we look at everything. We look at the whole picture, and a lot of them have complete weight of the world on their shoulders. They've been trying for so long and it's very tough. And one of the greatest pleasures I get from my clinic is when couples come back to see me with their tiny babies. It's just the most wonderful news. It's the most amazing news that the little bundle that tiny bundle can make such a difference to couples' lives. They look totally different because they are so happy and grateful this finally happened for them. And they can get on with enjoying a new family life together. So this is why I'm here. We're going to start you on the road to making your own family. I've made 3 videos for you. The first one, this one, I'm going to talk about fertility plan and knowing your fertility cycle. And in the next video, video 2, we're going to look at the types of tests you can do for your fertility and what happens with the results, because every test you do, there is a result and not always the one you want to hear. this is tough sometimes. I'm going to go through supplements and do a fertility MOT and how, this is important, how to maximize your eggs and sperm. And in the third video, we'll be looking at certain aspects of nutrition from a Chinese medicine point of view, which is very important, your mindset, how to deal with your period when it comes late, or those negative pregnancy tests. So let's talk about the whole approach to getting pregnant. With my holistic approach, it will affect every area in your life. Very often it's just small tweaks that are needed to get you on track to getting pregnant naturally. Every couple is different and we all have weaknesses in different areas. I'm going to walk you through my 5-step plan to your fertile health. When trying to get pregnant, it can take some of us between 12 and 18 months. This is normal, okay? So don't worry, this is normal. If you've been trying for this long and nothing has happened, keep listening to these videos and I promise I will reveal all the secrets I have discovered throughout the years in my clinic to help you. So let's get started on this 5-step plan. So why do we need to follow this plan? First, we're going to try and make you, both of you, into fertility goddesses. So you can get pregnant naturally, but most important that you continue with a healthy pregnancy where your baby is growing with all the right minerals and vitamins he or she needs and is born healthy. When you first start trying for a baby, it can be really fun, but after a while, when each month your period comes and negative pregnancy test, that fun wears off. We need to put the fun back into this for you. We live in an age where everything has to happen now, and when it doesn't, the rug is pulled from under your feet. It can be really tough. So we need to work with you on these areas, and we're going to go through all of this in video 2 and video 3. So we're going to go through your fertility 5-step plan, and the first thing you need to do is go to the doctor and get yourselves, that's both of you, checked out. It's kind of like a body MOT. So you need to get a sexual screen test done. Often sexually transmitted infections have no symptoms and go unnoticed. This is why you need to go get checked out. And you don't know until you're trying for a baby. So you could have a disease like chlamydia, and this can cause damage to your fallopian tubes. Or would you believe that 10% of women have this problem? Or glomerular. This also blocks the fallopian tubes and causes defect to your sperm. You also need to go and make sure that your rubella shots are up to date, have your smear test done, get your thyroid checked out. One of the most important tests to do, and this is the first one I want you to do, is go and get your man's sperm checked out. This eliminates him out the question and it can eliminate a lot of heartache and stress on both your parts. What if he won't go? Then I think the two of you really need to sit down and discuss if children are what you both want or if it's the right time. This is a hard conversation to have, but believe me, it's the right one. I'm going to move on to step 2. We're going to look at diet and nutrition supplements. We're going to go through this a lot more in video 2. I can hear the questions that you're shouting at me now. What type of vitamins and supplements should I take? And there's so many out there. There's like so many to choose from. But I think one of the most important ones, and this is again for both of you, for you and your partner or your husband, is folic acid. Folic acid is so important. You need to take at least 3 months before you get pregnant. Why you take it prevents neural tube defects such as spina bifida, also linked to helping the prevention of cleft palate and heart defects. I go through an egg support plan and sperm plan on the course to maximize the health of both of your sperm and eggs. But I will let you into my big secret supplement. It's Insadol. Insadol is fantastic for the egg and sperm, keeping life into them, rejuvenating them. And another thing you need to take is a really good multivitamin designed for fertility with omega-3 fatty acids and DHA. Make sure that you eat a healthy, balanced diet with at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables and 2 portions of fish a week. So fruit and vegetables every day and whole grains. Here's a scary fact. 15% of women and 13% of men eat the recommended amount of fruit and veg every day. The rest of us don't. Eat breakfast, don't skip this, it's the most important meal of the day. And talk about sugar, it accelerates the aging process. So think of the egg and sperm. I'm going to explain this a little bit. The sugar attaches to a protein and it forms a molecule called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. This affects the structural tissue that makes the collagen. It's made of collagen. This causes the hard wrinkles on your face, the brittle wrinkles. But it also does this to the egg follicle. So you can imagine if it's causing this to your face, what it's causing to your ovaries. In Chinese medicine, it's yin drying. So you need to make sure that this is not happening. So cut down on the sugar. Like the odd bar of chocolate is not going to kill you. Studies have also shown that this impacts on IVF for implantation and embryo development. So you can see how important it is to cut sugar down. I'm going to move to step 3, lifestyle and stress. There are things you can do to manage your stress, and it's a huge area. And we need to look at ourselves and be totally honest. And here's some questions you can ask yourself. Are you overweight or are you underweight? Do you smoke? Smoking is bad. Are you drinking a lot of alcohol, over the recommended units? Do you use recreational drugs? Now this is a hard one. Are you on long-term medication? If you are, you probably should go see your doctor and see what effects it's having on your fertility. Are you working long hours? And how are your stress levels? Are you having enough sex? Are you targeting your sex? Do you know your fertile time? Are you actually still enjoying sex? So these are things we need to address and sort these problems out, because this is the tweak that you might need just to help you get pregnant. I'm going to look at age. Age is a huge factor, and if you're over 35 and you've been trying for 6 months, you need to go see your GP and get yourself checked out. Every month you have a window of 5 to 6 days with regular sex when you're trying to get pregnant. Go a lot more further into this further along in this video. The next really important step is step 4. Look after your relationship. Make time for yourself and your partner. I ask so many couples that come and see me in my clinic, are you still enjoying yourselves? Are you still liking each other's company? And very often they say no, because trying for a baby has just taken over their whole lives and everything else is left on the back burner. They won't go out, they don't go to parties, they hate seeing pregnant women. It's really, really tough, but it's okay. You just need to work on this together. Sometimes a man can feel like he's just a sperm donor and he can do nothing right, that he's not the loving husband partner that you married or you got together with. Age is complicated for the woman because she knows her biological clock is ticking, and if the man is not ready yet to start the family, it can be very tough on your relationship. So you need to listen to each other and you need to talk about this. And it can also make you a little bit angry if you have waited and now you're having difficulties to get pregnant. Again, you need to sort this out. It can cause a huge resentment block, and it can be a massive block on your fertility energy. This is why I said in step 1 that you need to be on the same page. It's for that we discussed the sperm test. You need to be on the same page as your partner. Go on a date. Remember why you fell in love in the first place, and remember to have a healthy, regular sex life. Create time for each other. Don't just turn on the television and be on your phone. Turn them all off and chat. Go for a walk. Have dinner in the garden or a picnic in the garden if you live in a warm climate or the weather is good. Own your feelings. Don't blame each other. Men can sometimes feel a bit helpless and you can feel angry at this, especially if you're going through an IVF cycle and you've got to take all the medication and injections, you've got to be scanned and all of this. So it's quite tough. Explain all these things to him. Keep the lines of communication open. Do you recognise any of this as well? I'm always nice to him, but he's not back. I'm not sure he wants this as much as me. That's a big one I get asked in my clinic a lot. He's not willing to make changes. This is another big one that comes into my clinic. He won't go and get checked out. Another big one that comes into my clinic. Talk to each other. Really talk to each other and figure out what you both want. So I'm going to talk to you about a patient that I had. I won't say her name because I keep everything confidential. But this lady came to me. She was 34, wanting a baby, newly married, happily married. But she wanted the baby and her husband didn't. And she had fertility issues going on. She had PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome as well. So she knew she didn't have time to wait. But her husband wasn't interested in starting a family yet. He wanted to enjoy early stage marriage, early newly married life and everything like that. We had a lot of problems with this issue. I suggested that they go in for fertility counselling, and I wanted him to go and get himself checked out, but he wouldn't do it. Put a huge strain on the relationship, and they discussed it. Now in time, it took about 6 months for them to work this out, but in time they did, and they went on successfully to get pregnant naturally themselves. But this was a huge block to what was stopping them getting pregnant. So you really need to keep the lines of communication open and talk about stuff, laugh about stuff, remember why you got together in the first place. So this is step 5 in the fertile plan, your egg and sperm health. We look after ourselves on the outside. We put cream on our skins, we protect it from the sun, we exercise, to keep our bodies looking toned and good. But what we need to think about of the way we age on the outside is the same as on the inside. So this is why this is why you are what you eat. So you need to eat a healthy, balanced diet. We go through this a lot on the course. How you sleep, your stress levels, overwork, over-exercise or not enough exercise. All of these has a huge impact on the health of your egg and sperm. I've told you my big secret, Enstol. This really helps. So other than that, a really good diet, sleep, resting, taking time out and exercise. I ask my couples when they first come into the clinic with me, do you know when you are fertile? More often than not, they have no idea at all. So we're going to go through this now. Let's understand how your fertility works. Know what to look out for. Know when you are at your most fertile time. So first things first, I know Western medicine recommends ovulation kits. This is my big pet hate, and they're good in their own time and place. But when you finish watching this video, I want you to get your ovulation kit and throw it in the bin. Get rid of it. It's too stressful to use, it's too frustrating, it never tells you when completely the right time when you're ovulating. The same with temperature charting, because you need to do this every day, the same time, and if you don't, you're like, oh my god, I haven't done my temperature chart, this is really bad, what am I going to do? Or I've forgotten to pee on the little ovulation kit and it's not working. Throw them away, get rid of them, get the stress of them out of your lives. You're going to know when you're fertile, because I'm going to explain it to you. The other thing you have to remember is if you've been prescribed fertility drugs like Clomid, this affects your ovulation kit, the result of your ovulation kit, and also your temperature charting. I know you're going, I can't throw it away, I'm relying on this, but you don't need to rely on it because you're going to know from your body when you're fertile. And you're going to know when, if you're having regular sex 3 times a week, this will help you get pregnant. This is the way forward. Here's another question I always get asked by couples that come and see me. Do you know how long an egg lasts? How long it lasts for? Again, most couples have no clue. Some say a week and some say a day. The answer is 1 to 2 hours. So you need to be thinking about this. But again, don't panic, because it only takes 1 egg and 1 sperm to create a healthy pregnancy. My best advice to you is on this. This is how you get pregnant, is when your period has stopped, you have to start trying for your baby. So you need to start, as soon as it stopped, you need to have regular sex. This is your 5 to 6 day window. So we're going to work with a 28-day cycle. This is the most common one. On a 28-day cycle, you ovulate on day 14. So if you're having regular sex from the end of your period and roughly past day 14, you're covering every element. And I find that couples who are truly honest and tell me that they're having sex 3 times a week conceive much quicker than couples who use ovulation kits and timing their fertile time. Limiting sex is not a good idea. And this is another myth that I'm going to squash. The idea of saving sperm, it doesn't work. You need healthy, fresh sperm. And research shows that the fresher the sperm, the better quality and the better chance you have. So sperm can live within you between 3 and 5 days, but because you're trying to get pregnant, you're going to work with sperm living within you within 3 days. This is, important to think about this. So having regular sex with fresh sperm all the time increases your chances of a healthy pregnancy. Now, for a pregnancy to happen, you need 3 months to get your cycle in order. You need 3 months as well, because you don't always ovulate on every cycle, and especially if you're over 35. And remember that stress plays a huge part in this. Stress affects ovulation. Everyone's stress is different. So, but if you think, what type of stress you have, how you can help it, and again, we're going to go through this in video 3. We'll go through how you can help this. Now, do you know when day 1 of your cycle is? Well, if you don't, here's the answer. Day 1 of your cycle is when you have full flow of blood. Not spotting, not stopping and starting. It has to be full flow blood. I have a brilliant section of this on the course again that goes into huge detail about this. So, the whole plan here is to make you into a fertility goddess. Let's look for some of the signs that you're in that baby making mode, that fertility goddess mode. Mucus. This happens after your period has stopped. This is a huge indicator that you're fertile. This is one that you can look for. Mucus can be affected by drugs like Clomid or thong because they dry up the mucus. Again, a tampon towards the end of your period can have that drying effect. So you need to keep that in mind. Look out for the mucus. That's a big sign that you're fertile. Again, pain in your side. This can happen around ovulation. Either side. Doesn't happen to everyone, but some of you can. Again, your clothes can be a little bit tighter for about 24 hours, 36 hours mid-cycle. Again, this doesn't happen to everyone, so keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for it. To help your mucus, drink plenty of water and get enough sleep. Look at your stress levels. Again, we're going to go into that in video 3. It's also good to have a fertility tracker on your phone. This can help, and especially having an irregular cycle, can help you look out for the fertile signs. Now, the acupressure points to help your mucus are these. So these are the best acupressure points that I have learned to help you create more mucus in your system. So the points are on your leg. There are 2 points. The first one is get your small finger, put it on the top of the inside of your ankle bone, 3 fingers and above it, behind the bone, and that's the point, Sandy and Jow. You can hold that point with the other finger. The next point is between the top of your ankle bone and the back of your heel. So midway between the two, level with this finger, is the point Fulu. This will help the mucus for your fertile mucus. So we're going to move on. So another question I get asked a lot is, if I hold my legs up in the air, will this help me get pregnant? The answer is no. And it's stressful. Imagine having sex and then lying there with your legs up in the air. It doesn't work for you. There's no proof, there's no evidence that this happens. There has been research done, now this is just a bit of miscellaneous research for you, that sperm is ejaculated at 28 miles an hour, and it's ejaculated right up into your vagina, and it's a sticky fluid, and when that sticky fluid liquidizes, it allows the sperm to swim out. But what sometimes you feel after sex is just that sticky fluid and a few of those dead sperms. You don't need that. It's absolutely fine. Again, another question is, what happens if the woman is on top? Again, this is fine, absolutely fine, but when you've finished, lie on your back, because the natural angle of the vagina helps the sperm go in the right direction. You know, lie on your back for 10-15 minutes, have a chat, have a cuddle, go to sleep, whatever, you know, but those two things I hope will help you. The absolute most important thing I want to teach you about trying for a baby is do whatever it takes to keep the passion in your sex life. Spend time together as a couple. Go for a walk, have meals, go to the cinema, talk. From my experience, and this is my clinical experience, passionless mechanical sex rarely results in a positive pregnancy test. This is something you enjoyed together when you first started trying, when you first met each other. So get that back again. Again, I'm going to show you some acupressure points that will help you ovulate. So these are the points here now. So when you know you've ovulated, these are the acupressure points that I want you to do over the next 2 weeks that will help implantation. The points are on your leg again. So the first point is on the top of your knee. So find the inside of your knee, run your finger all the way along to the top of your knee. It's roughly 4 fingers. That point there is shui high. You support it with a point on your leg. So it's on the outside of your leg. Find your shin bone, find the bottom of your knee. So 3 fingers out and 3 fingers down and 2 fingers out. That is the point, Susan Lee. And the other one is on the inside of your ankle. Find the tip of the inside of your ankle, put your little finger on, 3 fingers up behind the bone. That's the point, Sanya and Gel. Those 3 points will help in that 2 week for implantation to happen. So another little bit of information again is oral sex, and the saliva from your mouth can be damaging to the sperm. So again, just avoid it around your fertile time. If you're having difficulty with sex because of the pressure you have put each other under, you can try self-insemination. You know, that's something you can do for yourself. It's easy enough to do, you just need a clean syringe. You can also follow my Create a Bump plan for 3 months, and this will really help you. It'll help maximize the health of your sperm, your egg, your mind, your body, your soul. It'll take the pressure off you because you have something to do, you know where you're going. One of my ladies who did this course, she came to me and she got pregnant, which was amazing. Anne came to me, I've changed her name again because for confidentiality reasons. She came to me and she was 40 and she was had quite a high-flying job, and she's also studying for her masters. So she had an awful lot happening in her life. She came to me for about 3 months, and she had, in those 3 months, she'd also been to a fertility clinic, and she had the test done, the AMH test, which we will go a lot into in the video too. The AMH is your anti-Müllerian hormone. It actually gives you the level of the quantity of eggs you have left. Now this is nothing to do with the quality of your eggs, it's just how many you have left. And because you're born with your eggs, as you age, they go into decline. They, naturally, you use them up and they get used up. So this is what this test tells you. Her AMH was very, very, very low. Like, she was when she came to see me, she was beyond devastated. But we discussed it, we discussed how she was feeling, and she decided that she would take a little step back from work. She still studied for her masters, but she decided that she would stop working for a period of 3 months, just to give herself time to do everything. And in that time, we also discussed the fact that, okay, she didn't have as many eggs, but we needed to work on the quality of the eggs. And this is what we did. And she did get pregnant. And last September, she had a little boy at 40. And this is a lady who came in completely, I can't even begin to tell you how distraught she was. She was at this low AMH test. So I'm telling you this because If you do this test and the result is not a good one, it does not mean you can't get pregnant. It just means you need to work on the health of those eggs to make you pregnant. This is the other tip that I also gave her. She ate natural yogurt with a tablespoon of sunflower, linseed and pumpkin seed. She swears that the acupuncture and the yogurt seeds helped her get the baby she wanted. So in my next video 2, we're going to look at the types of tests you can do for fertility and what happens with results, because every test you do, there is a result, not always the one that you want to hear. We're going to go through how to maximize your eggs, your egg health, your sperm health. And I really can't wait to share this information with you. So any comments any questions you need to ask me, leave them here. I'll be delighted to answer them all as much as I can. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you in my next video.